Hey, this is Richard with a review of the Annex apartment at Corte di Gabriela, a boutique hotel in Venice, Italy. Corte di Gabriela first came to my attention through the Condé Nast website, where it was selected as one of the 24 best hotels in Venice. It appealed to me because of its small size, central location, price, and the free breakfast that many people raved about online. There are a variety of room options, but ultimately my wife and I decided to book the annex apartment located next door to the hotel. The apartment gives you access to all the hotel services and amenities in a larger space with a full kitchen. Last year, I had a good experience with the annex apartment at Villa Spalletti Trevelli, a boutique hotel in Rome, so I was optimistic that this choice would work out for us. I booked 5 nights through Expedia. With taxes and a resort fee of €45 a night, the total came to $3,100, or a little over $600 a night. Corte di Gabriela is located on the east side of the Grand Canal in Venice's San Marco neighborhood. Someone at the hotel was able to reserve a water taxi for us from the airport. At €130, it was expensive, but very convenient, and the ride provided a memorable introduction to the city. The taxi dropped us off at a dock that was just a short walk from the hotel. We had a map from the hotel with instructions on how to get to it from the dock. It was a short walk across a quiet square and a small bridge to the pretty inconspicuous hotel entrance. We arrived before check-in, which is typical of overnight travelers from the United States, so we left our luggage in the small hotel lobby and then took the first of many walks through Venice. The hotel attendant texted us when our room was ready, and we were able to get in there at about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. The annex apartment is located on the ground floor of a neighboring building. You enter through a large wooden door that opens onto a small lobby. Inside the room, there's a short hallway with the bathroom on one side and a spa on the other. Beyond that is the bedroom, living area, and kitchen. The 3 windows look out on a narrow canal that's used for workers and delivery personnel. If you look out the window to the right, you can see the bridge that you had to cross over to get to the hotel. At about 750 square feet, the apartment was spacious. The kitchen had a small fridge. The bathroom was sleek and modern with a rainfall shower but no tub. We received a welcoming gift of some delicious butter cookies. The queen-size bed was quite comfortable, with one notable quirk. The brick wall behind the bed shed granules of mortar throughout our stay, a consequence, I assume, of the building shifting on the water. Whatever the case, we had to brush this sandy stuff off of our pillows and sheets at least once each day. Breakfast is served in a small dining room off the lobby and in the tranquil courtyard next door. You order juice and coffee and then choose from the available entrees. Choices typically included an egg dish like an omelet and crepes with a sweet filling like pistachio cream or Nutella. Chef owner Gianluca was there every day to present the entrees and appetizers. The appetizers were a little odd for an American palate, with things like eggplant and leeks. There were also cheeses, ham, prosciutto, and other savory options. Along with the a la carte options, there was an impressive buffet consisting of baked goods, yogurts, and cereals. They had some packaged goods for my wife, who's on a gluten-free diet. It's a lot of good food, more than you could possibly eat in one sitting. Since we had a fridge in our room, we were able to take stuff back every day to eat later. Even though we were staying next door, we got a chance to check out the hotel's common area on the 2nd floor of the main building. A beautiful high-ceilinged space with a free self-service bar. We also got to peek in a couple of rooms that were being changed by housekeeping, and they were also beautiful, ornate spaces. This was the first time I ever stayed in a hotel room that had a spa in it. The spa has a sauna with the water scoop and the fake rocks and different color lights. I didn't end up using it. We were so busy and out most of the time that I really didn't want to spend any time figuring out how to operate it. The first night at Corte di Gabriela was one of the quietest nights I've ever experienced at a hotel, especially one in a city. We left the windows open to let in the cool nighttime air, and it was very peaceful with no outside noises. Unfortunately, leaving the windows open proved to be a mistake, as mosquitoes got in, and my wife and I were both bitten several times. So after that, regrettably, we had to keep the windows closed because there are no screens on them. The second night we were there, a family moved into the apartment above us. I don't know if they're permanent residents or if it's some kind of rental, but they were really clomping around up there, and that kind of shattered the peace we had been enjoying. The noises did quiet down after about 10 o'clock. The location of Corte di Gabriela is one of the hotel's great strengths. It's very close to Campo Sant'Angelo, a large square with a couple of restaurants on it. There's also a gondola stand there, and that was the launching pad for our one private Venetian gondola ride. The gondolier took us through some narrow, quiet canals before busting out onto the Grand Canal for a quick loop. I quite enjoyed it. It was very peaceful and a good way to see the buildings and bridges up close. I'd highly recommend it, even at the €90 price tag. As for attractions, there's a lot to see nearby. We walked to and from St. Mark's Square several times. It takes about 15 minutes. Rialto Bridge is only 15 minutes or so in the other direction. The Accademia Bridge is a bit closer, and that's the bridge that will lead you to the Accademia Museum and the Peggy Guggenheim Collection. If you can, make time to attend an evening performance of Vivaldi's Four Seasons at San Vidal Church, just a 5-minute walk to the southwest. The hotel is very close to the Sant'Angelo stop on the Grand Canal, where you pick up the Vaporetto public water taxi. I'd recommend getting a multi-day pass. It makes getting around much easier. The water taxi comes along frequently in both directions during the day, but as the night wears on, the service becomes much less frequent. Just a short distance south of the Sant'Angelo stop is the dock for the gondola that ferries people back and forth across the Grand Canal. This is not a private gondola. It's larger and carries a dozen people or so, and it only costs a couple of euros. It's very useful for getting to San Polo and the other neighborhoods on the west side of Venice without having to walk to the Rialto or Accademia bridges. There are a lot of restaurants in the area around the hotel. On the plaza, I'd recommend Ristorante Sant'Angelo. For traditional Venetian food, try the nearby I Assassini. Rosa Rosa is another good place that's very close. There's a laundry service at the hotel, but it's quite expensive, so we didn't do any laundry until later in our trip when we traveled to Tuscany. If you need euros, there's a really big bank, about a 7-minute walk to the east. In summary, Corte di Gabriela is a great base for exploring Venice and a quiet place to return to after a day spent amongst the crowds. It has an optimal location, terrific staff, and an excellent breakfast. I would stay there again, but I don't think I would stay at the annex apartment. Next time I think I would try to get a room on the top floor of the main building so that there's no one above us. Hope this helps. Thanks for watching.